Alright, so today I'm going to be installing these True Glow Tritium Pro night sights for my Gen 5 Glock 19. And there is a list right there of other Glocks that it does fit. So I bought the one with the orange front sight, and that's basically what it's going to look like at night. And once I have these things on here, I'll actually compare it to this, to these AmeriGlow night sights that are on this Glock 43X. And I really like these sights that are on this gun, but we'll see how it compares at night. But this is a really easy process. I'm gonna be using this universal rear sight adjusting tool to install this, and also I have one of these nut drivers for the front sight. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape up the slide once I get it off, and first step is to clamp it in there. So before I do clamp it in there, I do need to make sure the gun is safe, because I do have to pull the trigger, and it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some painter's tape along right here before I stick it in that clamp. Alright, so before I clamp it in there, I'm going to go ahead and get this front sight off, since it's really easy to do, and there is a little tiny nut right there that you can get off. So this is really easy to do. Just stick the nut driver in, alright, so there is the front sight. And definitely do not lose that little screw. Which, by the way, it did come with a screw for a Gen 4 Glock, which it must be a little bit different than the one that I have. Alright, so I got the thing all set up. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this front sight off, or the rear sight off, which is going to be pretty easy to do. Alright, it's off. Alright, so I got the new sight in there, and that is basically as far as I could push it in by hand. So now I'm just going to tighten it in the rest of the way with the tool. And you definitely want to make sure that groove is clean and there's nothing, no debris or nothing in that groove, so it goes on nice and smooth, which it is. And let's see if that looks about the center. Alright, so the rear sight is in, went in really easy, and it looks dead center to me. But I'm going to take that sight adjusting tool to the shooting range whenever I take this. So now the only thing to do is put in this front sight. Alright, so for the front sight, it's really easy. You just kind of snap it in there. Make sure you got it pointed the right way, of course. But it did come with a new bolt, which the factory bolt is actually a little bit longer, and it won't seat down all the way. So that must be why it came with a new bolt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this new bolt. This little nut driver does have a magnetic end on it, and I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to put some blue Loctite on there, and then tighten it down. Alright, so it's in, and you can't really see the front sight because the camera's not going to focus on it, but it looks pretty good. Now, as far as comparing it to the AmeriGlow, there's the rear sight comparison, and I actually like the AmeriGlow a little bit better, but at night the True Glow is just a little bit brighter. As far as like the red dot during the day is brighter, but at night it's pretty much the same. So I did actually try to film it with the lights off in the garage, but the camera just wasn't having it. So there is your comparison. You can see that the front sight on the AmeriGlow is a lot brighter during the day, but at night it's pretty much the same. If anything, the True Glow is a little bit brighter at night than the AmeriGlow is, at least for the rear, but not for the front. So really easy installation, and like I said earlier, it did come with this extra little screw for Gen 4s, and it did come with its own front sight bolt because the factory bolt is too long. So just a little tip. So that's going to about do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.